were there traces of radiation on their clothing? And then, of course, there were the UFOs.
What?
People were saying the lights.
They have actual pictures of it?
I guess I didn't think so. Oh, hello there, guys. It's me, Lauren, obviously. And I'm here with Cassie. Say hello, Cassie.
Hi. I'm here. I'm keeping my voice down because I'm nervous.
Oh, you should be nervous, Cassie, because today we're gonna be talking about conspiracy theories. Me and Cassie were talking and we realized we both really love conspiracy theories, so we should talk about them together. In front of you guys.
Yeah, because spreading misinformation in today's day and age, it's real fun.
It's the in thing to do. Because haven't you ever wondered if things aren't what they seem? People are lying to you. I mean, all the time. All the time. These are the most interesting ones. So me and Cassie decided to scour the internet for some of our most favorites and interesting ones. We're gonna share them with each other and see if we can weird each other out just a little bit. Just a little bit. I like conspiracy theories, usually that I could be like, okay, maybe I could kind of believe that, and it's not so far-fetched. This one's a little crazy, but like, there's no explanation for it. Are you ready? Did I amp it up enough?
I'm nervous. I'm ready. I want to know what's going on here.
Okay, so this one is called The Mystery Man from Taured. In 1954, in Tokyo, there was a man that got off of a European flight.
It was hotter than normal in Tokyo, but at the airport, it was fine.
And when he was going through customs...
Not customs!
What? Not customs?
Sorry. Just customs, just the word customs, it scares me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thought I was telling the story wrong. It's like, already? So when he got to customs, they checked his passport, and it said that he was from a country called Taured, and it was an actual legitimate European passport. His primary language was French, and he said it sat on the border between France and Spain. So when the officials told him there was no such country called Taured between France and Spain, he obviously got a little agitated. And they had to put him somewhere for the night until they could sort out where the heck he was from. Also, how did he get on the plane if he had a passport for a totally different country that didn't exist? Now it gets interesting. So they decided to keep him in a hotel room that had guards on the outside, because obviously he was in this country and they couldn't figure out who he was. They weren't gonna just like let him go hang out in the country, you know? So all night long it was guarded, and it was high up, so there's no way he could have gotten out of the window, if you see where I'm leading to, because he mysteriously disappeared.
No!
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. There was people watching the door. There was no way he could have gotten out the window. He was just gone. He was gone. There are photos of his passport, which is a little crazy.
Wait, so was it all the security guards were told that they were crazy? Like, that didn't happen, bro.
So the conspiracy behind it is that there's such a thing as parallel universes. So they're saying this man came from a universe where Taured existed because they created another country in this universe that was between France and Spain. To this guy, he really came from Taured. Like, could you imagine, like, getting on a plane from one place and then you go to, like, Tokyo and they're like, Canada doesn't exist. And you're like, what? Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to this guy. And they have no idea. I'm trying to find his passport. I think this was it. Canceled. It's like really old because it was from the 50s. It's like one of the most standing incidents of parallel time travel that people always like reference when they talk about parallel universes being real and time travel, because there's no explanation for where he would have went or how he got on the plane or having a real European passport even though it was from a country that didn't exist. Yeah.
That'd be so scary if you like got off a plane and like they were like, oh, Lauren, if that is your real name. America doesn't exist.
And he said he had like a business meeting with a company that didn't exist. He said that he had a hotel reservation at a hotel that didn't exist. Crazy.
Wait, but if the hotel didn't exist and the business didn't exist, then how did he know that Tokyo exists?
I guess in his parallel universe, Tokyo was still a thing. I mean, France and Spain were still a thing in his universe. They just had a middle country. So it was like, it was our universe, but in a different timeline. It's crazy. It's a lot to take in, I know.
Did he come through a wormhole?
They think maybe he was flying at the same time as this plane was flying, and then like somehow he got put onto this plane in a different timeline, and that maybe the wormhole opened up again at his hotel room and brought him back to like where he was supposed to be, and that was the only reason why he wasn't in the hotel room.
What?
I don't know. I probably didn't tell it as good as with all the details that it had, but there's been like books written about it and some crazy stuff.
Is there a Wikipedia for it?
Yeah, so if I didn't do it good enough,
then Wikipedia will.
Yeah. Oh, and Reddit, of course. It's all this stuff. See, there's background.
It's all there.
I didn't make it up. It's there. So the hotel he did know, but they had never heard of him, and the company he claimed to work for had no knowledge of him.
What?
Although he had copious amounts of documentation to prove his point that he worked there.
And how was he never seen again?
His passport had been stamped by many Okay, this Reddit article is gold. Passport had been stamped by many airports around the globe, including previous visits to Tokyo. So he had gone to Tokyo with a taured passport, and they had stamped him over, like, before, and other countries.
What?
In his head, his place of origin had been around for 1,000 years, and they were telling him no.
What?
He was in possession of money from several different European currencies.
Huh. Was it the same money?
I don't know. I guess. Police established that he could not have escaped out the window. The room was several floors up and there was no balcony. He was never seen again. Ooh.
Okay, so he shows up through a wormhole.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But then how does he go back through it?
I don't know the rules of parallel universes. If they exist, maybe the timelines realized that he crossed over accidentally and they just like sucked him back into the other one. I have no idea. I want to know what happened to him.
Lauren, you gotta believe. Do you believe in parallel universes?
There's some weird evidence. Kind of like the JFK photo of, did you ever see that?
No.
It was like a really warm day, and there was a woman running from the JFK assassination in like a ton of winter gear, and everybody else was in like regular clothes for that day.
So she must have time traveled.
Also, the other big conspiracy around that, though, Cassie, is the Berenstain Bears thing, which I'm pretty sure most people know about.
What's that?
That is, how do you spell it? Oh, Berenstain! See, I even said it! Berenstain Bears! I always thought it was Berenstain Bears.
It's Berenstain. It's Berenstain.
Did you know it was Berenstain?
Now, I read the Berenstain Bears growing up, and I watched the shows. The Berenstain Bears.
See, Cassie just put a hole in this conspiracy theory. Because everybody...
What?
Everybody remembers it being Berenstain Bears, not Berenstain Bears.
Well, I couldn't spell when I was little. I just said it like, Mom, can I get my Berenstain Bears? Okay, so Lauren.
Yes.
You think that it changed to Berenstain Bears at one point, but at some time in a parallel universe, it was Berenstein, and everyone remembers it that way.
Yes. So apparently, like, back in the day, it was Berenstein, and that's why everybody remembers that. And then at some point, something happened in our timeline that, like, kind of made us go into this parallel universe timeline where it's Berenstain Bears.
Maybe it was Berenstein Bears, but Berenstain Bears, like, it just has a better, like, it has a nicer ring to it.
Maybe you're from the other timeline that we merged with.
No! I'm not from, like, the gross one.
And I'm from the original timeline.
What? Oh, so you're the OG and I get to be, like, from this, like, shitty timeline where everything's all stained, including the bears?
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe you were from the taured timeline, too. You just don't remember. Oh. Conspiracy theories inside of conspiracy theories.
I was reading about this the other day, and whoever's editing this, I want graphics, man. I want graphics. This is some science, okay? This isn't even a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
If you were to fall into a black hole, you know what a black hole is, right?
Yes.
It's when, like, a star is dying and, like, there's so much energy in there that it starts to actually, like, it's like a little mangled piece of reality.
Okay.
And if you were to go into a black hole, picture yourself flying in there.
Okay.
Real creepy, okay?
I'm thinking of a really funny graphic right now. Just like in the black hole.
Lauren is watching me fall into the black hole.
Yes.
Lauren is like, Cassie, no!
Cassie, no!
Take care of yourself. I love you. I always did. And I'm like, shut up, Lauren. I'm going into this black hole. I go in, and as soon as I start approaching the event horizon of the black hole, I would turn into spaghetti and burn up into a crisp and turn into ashes and die. And Lauren would be like, ooh.
Is that what would happen?
That's exactly what would happen. But according to physics, I would split into two. You would see the version of me that burns up and dies a horrible spaghetti death.
Okay.
And the other version of me would go into the black hole and be able to live in there, either until I approach the singularity or until I get real thirsty and die.
You just blew my mind. What?
There has to be parallel universes, especially because like in a black hole, time and space like change places.
What?
Reality gets so mangled and all of like the laws of physics get broken. So obviously there has to be other realities.
Do you believe the man from Taured got accidentally put into our reality where Taured didn't exist because of something?
Well, see, that's the thing is like I don't really see him coming through a wormhole twice in a row because like it's really hard to open up a wormhole. You need like negative matter to open up a wormhole. Loss of it.
Turned into such like a scientific nerdy space. I like it. Can you just cease to exist in a universe where you're not supposed to be?
Matter cannot be destroyed. Energy cannot be destroyed.
I have learned that.
So maybe the guy from Taured flew in with his Berenstain Bear copy, fresh one, and then he landed and he was like, wait, these bears are different. And then he went to the airport and then it was even more different. But then how did he leave the prison, Lauren?
Also, how did his passport get stamped by all these other countries?
Maybe this guy was from the future.
Oh.
And he was like, I'm gonna see if I can pull this shit off. And then he shows up and then he's like, oh shit, there was no Taured in this universe.
How old is the Earth supposed to be?
Pretty old, Lauren. Pretty old.
He said his country was 1,000 years old. So I was wondering if he came from the future. I don't know when European countries were formed, actually, would be not how old the Earth is, but how old countries being formed is.
How old is what, Spain?
Yeah, he was between France and Spain.
1512? Oh, this guy was coming from the past.
Wait, no, so then you're right, he might have came from the future. It was founded in 1512?
Well, he definitely came from the future if he's able to open up wormholes, because like that's technology that we're not there yet.
Yeah, maybe he had technology to go back. Maybe he was like, oh crap, I accidentally did this, and this is not a good timeline to be in, and he just like got out of here.
What if he was like, oh crap, I went too far back, and then like in the future, like Spain was like, I think Taured actually fits here. Can we carve out a little Taured? Man, that was so interesting.
My second one is much creepier. So this one is a lot creepier. It's one of my favorite like unsolved mystery / conspiracy theory stories as of recently.
What's in this picture? It's creeping me out. Is that like a dead guy?
No.
Okay.
That's the tent that they found from the hikers that disappeared. So, this is in Russia, and there was 9 skiers, cross-country skiers, so like hiker, skier people, and they were going really high up in the mountains, so you had to make sure that you were properly trained, and you had a good team, and all that good stuff. So they were like students from college and university, and they all went up on this big expedition. One of the people had, like, in their group had to turn around and go back because they were feeling ill, I believe, and they didn't think they could do the whole thing. So they went back. A week later, nobody had heard from them. And this is back in, like, 1959, so there was no easy communication up on the mountain for people to find them quickly. The guy that stayed behind went with authorities up to show where the trail was that they were thinking of hiking. And they first found a tent that had been ripped open and a bunch of clothing and shoes and things everywhere. When they continued down the path, they started finding the bodies of these hikers. The first couple were kind of like, they thought they died from hypothermia, but they were undressed. So they had run out of the tent in like underwear with no socks on and no shoes on. Some of them had no jackets. They figured they had died from hypothermia, obviously, because they hadn't had anything on. And then as they continued, each of the people that they found was more and more creepily disposed of. I'm gonna try and make this as YouTube friendly as possible.
No, I want to get in here and hear all the deets. Okay, so 2 of them died in their underwear.
Yes, 2 of them died.
They left their tent for some reason in their underwear.
They ran from their tent in such a rush that they forgot to dress for the Arctic temperatures that were outside of their tent.
Okay.
Had to be something scary. Those were 2. They found other hikers that either were missing parts of their face.
No!
From autopsies, they found that some of their injuries were from blunt trauma that could have only happened if they were hit with something large and heavy enough. That was pretty much like the ongoing pattern. There was people that either died from hypothermia and weren't wearing any clothes, or there was people who died in this like more grisly manner. So they're trying to figure out what the heck happened. And at first, when I first heard this story and we listened to the podcast, Bobby was like, oh, well, they probably got attacked by a bear or something in the tent, and they all ran out and then, died from hypothermia.
Makes sense, yeah.
But then when you start looking into it, they found that the blunt force trauma that a lot of them went through didn't make any sense. And the fact that they didn't go back to the tent once the bear was gone didn't make any sense. And nobody was really killed by any bear-type wounds or any other type of animal that would have been out there. So they looked through their camera footage because they each had cameras that they were bringing on their hiking trail. The last photo that was taken was of this light beam, this weird light fixture in the sky. That was the last photo that was taken, and their journal entries stopped on that same day where the last photo was taken. And there was people in the village nearby that also said that they had seen lights coming from above in a weird manner that they couldn't figure out what it was. They also found out that the tent was ripped open from the inside, so it wasn't somebody on the outside trying to get in, it was them desperately trying to leave, so much so that they couldn't zip open, they had to cut open and run out.
What?
There's a couple conspiracy theories, because to this day, they still do not know what happened to these hikers.
Wait, were all of the bodies accounted for?
Yes.
Or was one of them missing?
No, they were all accounted for. They found all of them.
So it wasn't a murder by somebody in there?
No, that's also what they were looking into. There's a lot of info, so if anybody's really interested in it, I highly recommend it. It's if you like spooky campfire stories. They even made a movie about it. That's interesting. I haven't seen the movie. I probably should.
Oh no, you shouldn't. People are missing parts of their faces in it.
Probably really bad. It's rated R for obvious reasons. The questions are, why did the skiers flee the relative safety of the tent? Why did they leave their belongings, including warmer weather clothing? Why did some of them simply freeze to death while others showed signs of internal trauma? Who or what removed the tongue of one of the victims?
No!
Why were there traces of radiation on their clothing? And then, of course, there were the UFOs.
What?
People were saying the lights they thought were alien or whatever. There's a lot of questions in this one. That's why I like it so much. So these are the conspiracies that people think might answer what the heck happened to them. There was a big thing with the Russian government covering up the deaths. They didn't want it to be public. They asked the parents of the people who had died to bury them in Russia, not allow them to bring their bodies home. They wanted just the family to come have the funeral, not tell anybody else pretty much, which is kind of sketchy. And then they said that that maybe Russia was covering it up because they may have been doing a weapons test, and that's what the lights were in the sky. They were either fireballs or some type of gas weaponry, and they kind of got caught in the crosshairs of that. It made them go crazy and try to escape the tent. Conspiracy number one, it was a Russian weapon attack that was test that accidentally killed them.
I don't buy it.
Or it was a Yeti. There was this photo that's right here that was circulating that people said was on one of the victims' cameras. Well, this is Bigfoot's winter counterpart, the Yeti. And
okay. Oh, they're brothers.
Yes. They're blood related. Just one of them decided to live up in the mountains, and the other one said, "No, I don't like winter and the cold and snow," and they moved to Montana? Is that where Bigfoot is? I don't know. The other conspiracy theory is that a Yeti killed them and scared them so bad that they ran out of their tent, and then...
And one of them ripped his tongue out.
Yeah, that's a Yeti's favorite treat.
No, it's not! That is so scary. I'm never going to the woods again. The Yeti's favorite treat is my tongue, of all things.
Is people's tongues. Fun fact. Look it up. This is why I made my room dark and I have the hood. It's creepy stuff. The other theory was that sometimes when you're high enough in the mountains, you can hear this infrared sound that makes you crazy. Maybe they tried to kill each other, and then the rest of the people froze, and I don't know if that's one of the theories. And then the other theory was that there was an avalanche, but...
The tongue-ripping avalanche.
I know. See, a lot of these don't pan out, though. The Russian weapons test. How would you miss a tongue from that?
How would you have blunt trauma from that?
Yeah. I'm going with Yeti. Yeti is the only logical explanation.
The most logical explanation is the Yeti.
We figured it out. You don't have to look up anything. It was the Yeti. He did it. It was him.
What if it was the Yeti?
I think he's technically an animal, so it wouldn't really be murder. It would be more like survival?
It wouldn't be survival if you're ripping tongues out. Oh my god!
I'm so glad it was black and white.
They have actual pictures of it?
I guess. I didn't think so.
Oh my god, go back. I gotta look for a little second.
I mean, they're black and white at least. Ew, really? No.
These guys got wrecked.
Is that real, or is that just like, I don't know. Ugh. I'm too scared to click on any of them.
I know, me too. Even though I can't.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, it got worse. No. I mean, I'm here, just the tent. The tent.
Yes, the tent. The tent is all we need to see.
So glad that was in black and white. That could have been really bad.
9 dead from hypothermia and physical trauma in Russia. This is super interesting.
It's one of my favorite creepy stories, and it's real. And nobody still knows the answer. So, yeah.
Wait, what's the death of Elisa Lam? It's on the bottom. Oh my god, she's from Vancouver.
Oh, this is a really creepy one too. You never heard of this?
No, I'm so scared. What is it?
I mean, I might as well say it while it's here.
What is it?
This was a girl, there's a video of her that we can watch.
No, I'm scared. Show me.
Okay, so this was the last footage of this girl before she died.
From drowning?
Yes. So she was in a hotel, and this is her in the hotel elevator, being very odd. And
why is she squatting to push the buttons like that?
Yeah, it gets weird. And she...
No, I'm scared!
So the weirdest part of this whole thing, if you watch, is the elevator doors never close, no matter, like, how long she doesn't go in it. It looks like she's, like, hiding from somebody or hiding from something and keeps checking. Yeah, it's really creepy.
Lauren, I'm actually terrified. What is she doing?
Yeah, she's, like, looking down the hallway.
Why won't she just leave? She's obviously running from something.
And she's, like, taking weird steps in and out and back and forth.
Is it because the door won't close, so she's like, I gotta get out of here?
It might be.
Oh my god, this thing is 3 minutes long. What else is going on? What happens?
So she stays out there for a while, I guess. And she comes back in.
Just take the stairs, girl! Just take the stairs!
She's touching all the buttons. They also said her outfit was weird compared to what she normally wears, because she's wearing, like, men's shorts. Like, men's athletic shorts and a hoodie.
Looks comfy.
Yeah.
Lauren, this is scary.
Yeah, look it.
What is she doing? What is she doing?
Weird. It's getting so dark in my house. I'm like looking around now. Why?
I'm so scared. Lauren's home alone right now too. So.
I know. This is the worst. I mean, hopefully Dexter will alert me of bad things.
What is she doing?
It's so weird.
I can't stand it. It's so scary. Like,
and the doors, why are the doors not closing? Look, then she
when
leaves.
I go to the bathroom tonight, I'm gonna need Terry to like hold my hand and walk me.
Oh, and then, yeah, so then she finally walks away, and then it closes.
No! No!
And then it comes up to the floor again, and she's not there. That was the last footage that they found of her.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Because I also know this one. I told you, I love mysteries and conspiracy theories. This is another conspiracy theory.
Does it get scarier?
A little gross. Just a tad gross.
What? Okay, tell me. I'm gonna die. I'm so scared.
So she went missing, and they couldn't figure out what happened to her or where she went. And then all of a sudden, in the hotel, people were complaining about the water tasting weird and having a weird odor.
Stop.
The people at the hotel went up to, like, the water tower where they hold the water for the, like, those big things with the tops on the top of some buildings. And they opened it, and she was dead inside the waters. They were using water that had a dead person in it. But the weirdest part was, so she fell into this water tank and drowned. There's no way she could have lifted the top off the water tank because it was so heavy. They thought maybe she committed suicide or fell in by accident, but... yeah, that's her story. They still don't know what happened to her. They did find out that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and maybe was not taking her meds, but they don't know exactly what happened.
But that wouldn't make the elevator door not close, Lauren. That wouldn't make that happen.
Or make her super strong to be able to pick up the top of the water tank and fall in by accident if she was having an episode. I don't know. I'm kind of freaked out now.
Wait. This happened in 2013?
Oh yeah, it's fairly new too.
This happened like yesterday.
And in LA, it wasn't even like a different country or something.
Oh no, I was hoping it happened in like Singapore, like my homeland or something, not here.
People said that maybe she was murdered.
Doesn't make sense.
I know that like if you don't take your medicine and it gets really bad, you could have hallucinations. But how did she get in the water tank? And why was the elevator door not closing?
Yeah, why was the elevator hallucinating too?
Ghosts.
That was very, very bizarre, and that actually scared me. Like, I thought I was gonna be chilling here, like, Conspiracy theories.
I'm actually pretty scared now too. It started like the man of taured wasn't really scary. Then it was like hikers. You're like, okay, it was a long time ago and up in the mountains. And then it's like girl that thinks something's in the elevator and then died.
The Berenstain Bears was like funny, and then like the hikers like warmed me up, and then we saw those like gross pictures of dead people, and now I'm like dying.
This is what happens when you jump down the rabbit hole.
This is a conspiracy theory rabbit hole right now.
Seriously, it really was.
And I want to learn more.
We went from one thing to another thing to another. I don't even know how many conspiracy theories we talked about. Thank you for being here with me in spirit. And if anything happens to me, I'm like gonna be that girl.
Have a good sleep tonight, Lauren.
I'm like looking down my hallway.
Yeah, just don't look up, okay?
I knew all of those stories already, and it still freaks me out. I don't like it. Ugh.
This was my first time. I can't believe I never heard about any of these things.
Really?
Especially Elisa Lam, because like this one actually like.
I've never heard of that. I actually like that one too. That one's very creepy.
It like yeah, there's something funny going on with that one. Like the other ones are like aha yeah. I mean it was a long time ago. Like nobody knows. But with this one, it's like 2013.
Yeah, and you have like video footage of how odd she was being right before. I don't know. It's creepy. Alright guys, well, I'm thoroughly creeped out, and I'm here by myself in the dark, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up.
Turn on post notifications by hitting the bell button right next to the subscription box, that way you are notified, and I will see you guys in the next video.